Hi and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to be talking about a very cool new health and sleep tracker that only needs charging every 5 or 6 days, has no ongoing subscription, has a brilliant accompanying app, and crucially is small enough to help you forget that you're wearing it. But first, I want to send a very heartfelt thank you to my new subscribers, but crucially my existing subscribers for sticking with me for the last couple of months while I've not been able to publish any videos. The reason, unfortunately, is that I had a motorcycle accident in September that put me out of action. In short, I was forced into a ditch, had to be airlifted across the Scottish Highlands to Inverness Hospital, nursing a broken collarbone, broken shoulder blade, 8 broken ribs, 3 in multiple places, and a punctured lung. While that sucked, literally, and continues to be pretty uncomfortable, I am recovering with rest and physiotherapy at home. My wife has been utterly amazing, and I also wanted to thank the incredible staff at both Inverness Hospital, particularly Becky and Claire, who made my 7-day stay as comfortable as possible, and the team at Royal Preston Hospital who looked after me after that. I've not really experienced the NHS in full effect before, and I have to say, wow. Anyway, the good news is that I now literally have a pile of products waiting to share and review with you. And while I can't do too many of the more physical reviews just yet, I am going to kick off with one which is especially relevant to me right now as I build my health and strength back up. This is the quite brilliant Ultrahuman Air RING, and I'm excited to tell you all about it after these titles. Now, the health tracker market isn't new. As an example, Fitbit have been producing on-wrist trackers for years, and they're good, but put simply, they're bulky, and having owned a couple, I don't like the look of them at all. Firstly, I have a nice watch, which I absolutely love wearing because it looks good and I feel good in it. Therefore, the last thing I want to do is leave this in a drawer at home and replace it with a little digital screen that to me looks like a toy. Now, Apple obviously ventured into the market with the Apple Watch, and I bought the original Generation 1 and then replaced it years later with a new version. Now, while I preferred the look of it to the Fitbit, the battery life is ridiculous, lasting little more than 24 hours at best, especially if you do any exercise. Now, offering sleep tracking on a watch that almost always requires charging during the night seems just a little bit pointless to me. Plus, and this is one thing which you may be able to relate to, I just got sick of being so connected to my phone. I stopped wanting to know every notification, every bit of news, read every message straight away. I wanted the health insights, but I didn't want all the connectivity. Now clearly, I've not been alone in this, as the last few years has seen the growth of a couple of brands which provide wearable trackers that don't have screens, do not send you notifications, but are paying attention to your vitals. The two I was familiar with were Whoop and Oura. One is a unit worn on your wrist or upper arm, and the other is a ring. Now the Whoop unit is virtually the same dimensions as a Fitbit Charge, which is pretty big and therefore leaves subtlety at the door. However, it does have no distracting screen and it comes in a choice of colours. The app is very good and it does undeniably offer valuable insights. The Oura, assuming I announce it like that, O-U-R-A, Oura, I think it's Oura, maybe it's Oura. The Oura is much smaller, packing much the same sensors and metrics as the Whoop. Now, I'm sure both of these are great, and their users probably value the insights a great deal, but for me, they both have one fundamental flaw. For full functionality and access to all the resources, you need to subscribe. Now, I get it commercially. The easiest and most consistent turnover for a company is the subscription model, but quite simply, I don't want to pay and then keep paying. Therefore, that leaves a dilemma with a very specific set of requirements. Health tracking without notifications. Wearable, but subtle enough to be invisible. Ongoing valuable resources and insights about me without ongoing costs. The answer to this, however, exists, and it's this: the Ultrahuman Air Smart Ring. Monitoring your sleep, heart rate variances, body temperature, movement, recovery times, stress reactions, all from your finger, which actually gives more accurate biometric markers than your wrist. A battery which lasts 5 days and nights, and a surprisingly slim profile. Incredibly, all of that weighs just 2.4 grams. Plus, on top of that, there's a choice of finishes and a really, really insightful app that I'll take you through in a moment. At this point, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Ultrahuman for supporting today's video and providing their brilliant new air ring for me to test. Now, if you'd like to learn more about their products, please click the link in my description after the video. Now, let me take you through the ordering process. Now, when you place your order, you tick the box for a sizing kit, and this comes through the post within a week. Now, when it arrives, it's nicely packaged and gives you all you need to choose your perfect ring. The instructions tell you to try the rings on your index, middle or ring finger until you find a good fit without any gaps. And you have all the sizes numbered in there, and you literally just take the ring you want to try out and simply pop it on your finger and try it on until you find the size that's the best fit. So you get to experience all of them at home. Now, I chose the index finger as I normally wear a ring on both my ring fingers. So my wedding ring is on my left hand, and on the right hand I normally wear my Pago Pace ring, which acts as my contactless payment and my Tesla key. I actually don't have it on at the moment, but if you want to learn more about it, I did make a video and the description is in the link up there. Now, crucially, once you choose the finger and the ring size, you take the 2-night sizing test, which entails leaving the ring on that finger for at least 2 nights to ensure it's comfortable when you're washing, when you're sleeping, when you're getting hot, when you're getting cold. So you can go through various situations as part of being you and check that it's still the right size. Now, finally, alongside the instructions, you have examples of all the ring finishes, so you can confirm which would suit you best. And lastly, you either scan the QR code at the bottom to open your Ultrahuman account and confirm the size and colour there, or you can click on one of the update emails you'll receive since you placed the order. Now, I actually really liked these as they showed you your specific order status and what was in the post or awaiting confirmation. It kind of just helped you get excited about the fact that the product was on its way. It's a nice touch, that. Lastly, you're encouraged to share the love. If you have a friend or family member who you think will be interested, Ultrahuman want you to pass the sizing kit on to them so that they can go through the same process and reduce packaging and production waste, which I think is pretty cool. Now you wait, but not for long. Now, once I confirmed the size and colour, my actual ring arrived within a week and the packaging was lovely. There's a really premium feel to the package, and as you open it, you're greeted with the ring first and foremost. Below that, you'll find the instructions and a quick start guide to get you underway. Also included in the box is a charger, which is specific to the size of your ring. So the ring just sits perfectly on top and then wirelessly charges. Also in the box is a really high quality braided USB C-to-C cable to power the charger. I wouldn't normally mention it, but it was genuinely a really high quality cable. And lastly, there are some branded stickers. Now, the first task is to plug the charger into a USB socket and place the ring on it for at least half an hour. It tells you all this in the app, but once this is done, you can then go back into the app, which you'll have a login from placing the order, and follow the on-screen instructions to pair the ring and check for any software updates. After that, put it on and you're ready to go. Now, it does take a few days to learn your baseline measures, but it's recording straight away, taking your heart rate and body temperature periodically. Now, the app is really customizable, offering the level of insight which you would like to see. Plus, you can give the app permission to share metrics with other apps, such as Apple Health, Strava, MyFitnessPal, Withings, and many more. They're just the ones that I used. Meaning it's getting a detailed picture of your food intake, your weight, all those metrics that contribute to building a better picture of you. And of course, crucially, it's then sharing its insights with those apps as well. Now, I know there'll be cynics around data protection, but personally, I love that complete picture, which all the apps can build from these collaborations, and each very proudly claims that your data is safe and encrypted. Now, let me record my screen and I'll show you around the app. So when you open the app, my homepage brings up my progress so far today. So as you can see, it's nearly 4 p.m. I've done nowhere near enough steps today, 3,855. and the total calories burnt, including rest and exercise, is 1,666. Now, I've still got a few hours to move around yet, and I do need to keep moving around and do some more physiotherapy. So that will go up, but it's great that I can see that at a glance because the Ring does have motion sensors in it. So in addition to recording your movement itself, you can also then get the information from any apps that you pair with it, such as Strava. I'll talk about the exercise in a moment. Below that, you've got, if you want any more information, by the way, you can click on the top corner of any of these and it will tell you exactly when you've had the movement, how many active minutes, how many active hours, total calories, workout frequency, all the insights. You can click on any of these boxes and learn a bit more about them because there's more detail in there. You've got the stress rhythm. So this is where it pays attention to my mood based on my body temperature and my heart rate. So as you can see, not too much stress today, mostly stimulated and relaxed. Relaxed being the comfy leader on my day so far. Which is the nature of resting after an accident, I guess. And you've got all the insights further down, and you've got breakdowns and averages throughout the week. My dynamic recovery. So this is where it takes into account an array of factors. So this has got your resting heart rate, which I'm within range, skin temperature, 7-day heart rate variance, last night's heart rate variance, my sleep index, which I'll show you in a minute, and then current stress rhythm score, which it takes from an array of metrics to decide how you're feeling, which is what you saw on the previous sheet. If I go to sleep, so 91 is currently telling me I have a sleep debt of minus 58 minutes, which is good. It means I'm getting enough sleep and I'm 58 minutes up, which is good. But if I go into sleep, you can see a bit more detail there. So the total sleep, time in bed, how much of it was restorative. My heart rate dropped, which is optimal at 125. And you can see the levels of efficiency, temperature, restfulness. So it's looking at all sorts of details with regards to sleep using the metrics that the Ring collects all through the night. And you can see how much of it was deep sleep, how much of it was light sleep, how much of it was REM sleep. And if you want, you can scroll through the particular parts of the night and see it. And you can go through different days as well. So if you click on the top there, you can go to the previous day and see the stats. So it's not just today, it's just that's what I'm viewing at the moment. As I said, it gives me this sleep debt and tells me what time I should go to bed to make sure I get my recommended sleep. Going down there, you've got quick starts. I'll come back to that in a minute. So individual markers, it's recording the heart rate. You see a little green light just underneath the Ring periodically, where it's just taking it. Stands out in the dark. My cardio age is 50. I'm 49, so it's close enough, I guess. But I said I'm not doing a great deal at the moment, so I'm looking forward to getting that down over the coming months. Temperature deviation minimal, 0.26 degrees centigrade, which is fab. And said my cardio age is higher than my actual age. It's nice to have that pointed out to you. And you can see the heart rate variance, resting heart rate, and the VO2 max down there. And you can add additional power plugs. So you've got the timeline of recommendations here, telling me I should stretch, telling me I should probably taper off caffeine at 2:30 to stretch your legs, and then the Ring battery at the bottom. But if I go into some of these more specific ones, so the power plugs. So within here, I've turned on screen time. So what that's doing is, of course, paying attention to how much I've been using the screen, which, of course, it can take directly from the phone itself. And it gives you just a bit more insight into, basically whether or not you should be using the screen less. That information's further up. Vitamin D is obviously going out in the sun, caffeine window, and if you want, you can add pregnancy insights or cycle tracking for your female users. I found these insights to be really, really useful. I've got to admit, it's just interesting to know what my body is up to. Now, breath work, you can click on the quick start there and it'll bring up some protocols, and then you can go into exercises. So if I click on deep breathing, it tells me that it's going to use a bit more battery because it's going to be monitoring my heart rate really closely, like constantly. And then it just gets you ready, gets the program ready to launch, and then there you go, it launches it with instructions, tells you what to do, and at the same time it's paying attention to my heart rate, my body temperature. It's quite interesting. So it's showing you how your body's reacting to the exercise. So I'm going to end that and we'll come out of that. Not enough data, that's fine. And the second one is workout. So really simply, again, tells you that it's going to be using the live heart rate. It's still in beta mode, but you click OK. And then if I go for an outdoor walk, I can just click that and it will start recording straight away. And it will follow you in terms of your heart rate. It will follow your GPS. So at the end of it, you'll end up with a very clear map in terms of distance, your average heart rate, how many calories you've burned. So there's lots of apps that do that, but the fact that the Ring can link it directly to your heart rate and use the GPS of the phone is, well, it's ace. So it's all stored in one place and it gives you a really accurate reading at the top with regards to your total steps. I love it. And there's more and more features on there. So that's just the home page. Metabolism, you can actually buy now a little pad that goes on your arm, which has a tiny needle that goes in and then records your metabolism over either a 2 or a 4 week period with regards how your body reacts to what you eat. So whether it's glucose, continuous glucose sensors, which is really interesting. I've not gone that route yet. It is an additional buy-on, but it is something I'm interested in actually, so I may well do that. Zones, if you want to share your scores with your friends or they've got a ring and you want to start a bit of a competition, and then discover, and I love this, because in here, you've got all sorts of resources. You've got podcasts, you've got particular exercises based on meditation, workout or sleep. If I go to workout, and let's say I want to do posture correction yoga. So if I click on that, and I want to go in as a beginner, so we'll have a program introduction, and we start the session. And then I can turn the phone sideways, the music is playing, and the exercise begins. So this is a little introduction. When I get past the introduction.
Things joins together, it becomes yoga.
And you get introduced, and then you have a session here, which is going to last 8 minutes.
Together. The third
because it's an introduction.
Races.
And there's loads of videos like this, and they're all free. They're all included in the fact that you've got the ring. And that's a fundamental difference between this and its competitors that require you to subscribe every single month you're using it. As you can see, the ring itself is a thing of beauty. I chose the titanium finish and it looks great. It has little scratches on it from washing my hands and banging against my wedding ring or holding dumbbells, which I've been using lightly to get mobility back in my arm and shoulder, but it just adds to the character for me. It's a really slim profile, and I take it off when I shower and pop it on the charger. By the time I'm washed and dry, I can put it back on and not have to think about it for another 5 or 6 days. I'm really impressed with this thing. And probably the best testament I can give for it is that while I did undeniably get this particular ring for free to allow for the test, I'd actually been researching all the wearable trackers on the market since my accident, planning my return to fitness, and was actually days away from ordering this very ring anyway. I just got incredibly lucky that Ultrahuman reached out to me at exactly the right time, and I'm super grateful for that. But I would still put my money where my mouth is had they not. And that's probably the best endorsement I can give it. Now, if you think this would be a good addition to your life, giving you valuable information to help you make better, more informed choices about your lifestyle without the bulk of a wrist sensor or ugly smartwatch, especially if, like me, you have a beautiful or sentimental non-smartwatch which you'd really like and just want to wear, then visit Ultrahuman's website today via the link up there or in my video description to learn more and place your order. Plus, if you're watching this video before December 2nd, 2024, there's actually a special Black Friday sale offering 20% off from November 22nd. If it's after this date, not to worry, the ring is still worth the full price, I assure you. Thank you so much for watching. I've got so many more things to review, so please do stick with me and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care out there. Bye-bye.